Senate Bill 1 is changing the way universities across Ohio operate. We have how Kent State students are reacting and what USG says they're doing to help.
September is Recovery Month, and to honor that, the Mental Health and Recovery Board combined poetry with the journey of recovery.
American ownership of TikTok is in sight. The deal the White House is 100% certain will be signed as Kent Stater TV starts right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening and welcome back to Kent Stater TV News Tonight. I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Sophia Elena. Thank you for joining us on your Monday evening.
As the semester progresses, students at Kent State are starting to feel the impact of Senate Bill 1, a new law changing higher education across Ohio.
Our very own Lex Rady has more on how the bill could affect campus life. Lex, what can you tell us?
Hi guys, that's right. Senate Bill 1 was signed into law last spring. Here at Kent State, the university student government is responding to what these changes mean for students.
Over the weekend, Kent State's undergraduate student government shared an Instagram post about Ohio Senate Bill 1, also known as the Advance Ohio Higher Education Act. The law took effect June 27th, and it brings changes to college campuses across the state. That includes closing identity-based centers and setting new rules for how professors teach controversial topics.
They wanted it to be a sense where you can kind of argue different beliefs and be able to speak those beliefs without there being a kind of pinpoint yes or no answer.
A part of the bill requires professors to present controversial topics as debates, even when there's widely accepted evidence. Supporters say the goal is to promote intellectual diversity.
I think because of the vagueness and because of the way that the bill is set up, it unintentionally kind of silenced people, when in reality lawmakers are trying to, offer more dialogue.
Outside of the classroom, one of the biggest concerns on campus is the closure of identity-based centers like the LGBTQ+ Center, the Women's Center, and the Student Multicultural Center.
Them closing identity centers is a huge hit and part of the bill. And that's another thing where it's there's no benefit to the state at all.
With these resources now gone and professors required to talk about controversial topics differently, students say that campus life feels different. For many, that change feels personal.
I don't know, I just feel like most people would feel not only voiceless, but kind of underrepresented.
Kendrick says USG is looking at ways to keep student life stable under Senate Bill 1, including talks about boosting funding for organizations and providing support to students so they don't have to navigate these changes alone.
If students ever have issues, just come to the USG office, talk to your representative, book a meeting. We're always available.
USG leaders say they'll continue working with administration and student organizations to help navigate the changes under Senate Bill 1. For KSTV, I'm Lex Rady.
All Streetsboro schools were closed today out of caution, according to the district. A city employee reported a man wearing all black and possibly carrying a long gun. He was walking on a street with multiple school buildings around 6 this morning. The Streetsboro Police Department cleared the school building and the city by 9 a.m., but they were unable to find anyone. Streetsboro School District posted to Facebook they plan to resume school again tomorrow. A 3-alarm industrial fire broke out this afternoon in Cleveland. Black smoke was seen on the south side of the city where multiple buildings were on fire. The Cleveland Firefighters Union said a lot of the propane was inside of a building. At least 80 firefighters responded to the scene and contained the flames by 3 p.m.
The Mental Health and Recovery Board celebrated on Saturday those who are going through or have gone through recovery.
The event gave participants an opportunity to express their journey through the recovery with poems.
Last Saturday, I attended the event and talked to the organizers to get a perspective on why they combine poetry with recovery and why it should be celebrated.
The world felt distant, cold and wide, and I was drowning deep inside. But our place saw beyond the chair, beyond the silence, the vacant stare.
September is Recovery Month, and to celebrate, the Mental Health and Recovery Board invited the community this Saturday to use art as a way of expressing their feelings, linking poetry with the journey of recovery.
I think it's something to celebrate. I think recovery is something to celebrate. People, it's a journey, it's hard, It's, you know, it might take somebody a couple times to get to where they are, and I think we should celebrate people being able to do that.
Participants gathered early at the Kent United Church of Christ, where treatment agencies from across the county were spread out in tables to offer resources and support. From there, they walked together to the Week Poetry Center, carrying signs, celebrating and advocating.
Yes, people are in treatment and they are getting better, and there's a lot of hope. That's what we want people to know.
In the Poetry Center, surrounded by flowers and the support from the community, a safe space was created for anyone to open up about their experiences through poetry.
Recovery when it comes to mental health or addiction or anything can be so much more if there is support. If we show that, hey, we care about you, it's going to be so much better for that person to think, okay, well, I can keep going.
The goal is to celebrate and honor those who are going through or have gone through recovery in hopes of spreading awareness and love toward that journey.
If you're lost or feeling small, if you think no one cares at all, know this. I've been where you now stand, and healing starts with just one hand. You matter, you're seen, you're not alone. There's a place, a path, a stepping stone. And when you're ready, come and see. The door is open. It opened for me.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Happy first day of fall, everyone. Today started off as a nice day and warm, but it later turned into a stormy day. Let's see what we can expect for the rest of the night. So today it was very warm in the morning. You might have gone outside for maybe your class and you were probably sweating, but then as you got towards around 3 p.m., you look outside and it was just torrential downpour. And that's what it's going to expect to be for the rest of the night tonight, as right now it is 71 degrees. It's some little bit of some showers right now. This is expected to be the off period of when it's not supposed to rain as much. But as we get into the rest of the night, it's going to be a little bit more stormy. And it might be a little bit, it might stop for a little bit, but it's going to pick up right around towards 9 p.m. It's going to be, there's some showers expected. As we get towards midnight, it's expected to be more of this thunderstorm that we saw earlier in the day. Right now, though, it's in that off period, right around 7, it's supposed to be just not as much rain, maybe more like drizzle. And then for your day tomorrow, as we get into our Tuesday, you expect some rain showers continue on into the morning. Not as much rain, but it's going to be a lot more cloudy in the afternoon. And there's a 47% chance of rain tomorrow. It's going to be pretty nice for the most part in terms of the temperature. It's going to be 77 degrees. But the humidity is going to be a little bit muggy. It's going to be 90%. The sunrise is actually going to be at 7:14. So make sure that you stay inside tonight and have a rain jacket in the morning tomorrow. Now let's go back to Sophia and Sydney for more news updates.
Thank you, Ryan. Colleges across the country are participating in a week dedicated to hazing prevention.
On-campus events started today, and KSTV Maggie Sweeney had the chance to sit down with USG to discuss the meaning of this week and what else to expect.
Evening, Sydney and Sophia. That's correct. I sat down and spoke with April Hanneman and Anna Hazelbush about how Kent's undergraduate student government and Flash's activity board is educating Kent about anti-hazing and its importance.
There's a lot of things that students may not consider to be hazing, and they wouldn't even realize that it is hazing, so that's why we like to spread awareness and education about what is and isn't. Anything that you are forced to do that you do not want to do is considered hazing.
Today marks the start of Anti-Hazing Week at Kent State, where various organizations are working together to bring awareness to hazing prevention. Hazing is any activity involving humiliation that an organization requires you to do to join.
Student orgs do run the risk of hazing. We take anti-hazing policies here at Kent State very seriously. I don't believe that Kent State has a big hazing problem. However, I completely understand that hazing is a concern for people.
Each day there will be 2 events sponsored by the organizations throughout campus. For more updates about this week's event, visit CSI Kent's Instagram and website. For more KSTV, I'm Maggie Sweeney.
In a memorial at Arizona's State Farm Stadium. The message his widow shared in her first public speech.
Hurricane Gabe has strengthened to a Category 3 storm. What it means and where it will make a landfall.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
What's up, NFL fans? Quarterback Josh Dobbs here. You may know me as the Pastronaut.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
I've always loved space and football. Growing up, some people told me I had to choose. But here's the deal. You can be great at more than one thing, and getting involved in STEM opens up your world to a universe of opportunities in life. Space isn't just for the astronauts.
It's for all of us. It's not just for engineers like myself. It's for teachers,
students,
designers, mechanics, scientists,
and millions of football fans across the world.
3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
Get inspired and get involved today. There are STEM programs and science centers available in your community, so be sure to check out spaceforall.us to learn more and get started.
This is my time.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community,
your stories.
Jimmy Kimmel Live will be back tomorrow night. ABC announced the show's indefinite suspension last Wednesday over Kimmel's monologue about the MAGA movement's response to Charlie Kirk's assassination. Pressure from the Federal Communications Commission chair and networks of affiliate stations threatened ABC over the remarks.
And a spokesperson for Disney, which owns ABC, said they suspended the show to cool tension over the comments, saying they feel some of Kimmel's comments were poorly timed. The suspension sparked a national debate about government interference and freedom of speech.
A memorial service honored Charlie Kirk last night at the State Farm Stadium in Arizona, where an estimated 200,000 people attended.
The service had the highest designation of security used for events like the Super Bowl. Maribel Gonzalez has the more.
Tens of thousands of people packing State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona Sunday to say their final goodbyes to assassinated political activist Charlie Kirk. Lines of mourners wrapping around the block to get in.
I need to mourn Charlie, and I wanted to be with the fellow patriots.
We're here to honor a great man that was a man of God.
Several high-profile Republican leaders, including President Donald Trump, speaking at Kirk's memorial.
America is a nation in grief, a nation in shock, and a nation in mourning.
The conservative political activist and founder of Turning Point USA was shot and killed earlier this month while speaking at Utah Valley University. He leaves behind a wife and 2 young children. His widow speaking out Sunday.
I saw the wound that ended his life. I felt everything you would expect to feel. I felt shock. I felt horror. And a level of heartache that I didn't even know existed.
In a powerful moment, she forgave her husband's alleged killer.
I forgive him because it was what Christ did.
Federal and local law enforcement beefing up security ahead of Sunday's service. The Department of Homeland Security designating the service as a special event assessment level 1, which is reserved for major events like the Super Bowl and Kentucky Derby.
High-profile events such as this actually, when they're coupled with significant media attention and attendee profile, really present a very attractive target for somebody with malicious intent.
Kirk's memorial comes as political figures are increasingly worried about threats and attempted attacks. The White House recently asked for $58 million in more security funding for executive and judicial branch employees. In Glendale, Arizona, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
Americans are not betting on help from safety net programs in the future in America. In a new policy survey from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, consumers believe there will be cuts to housing assistance, welfare, Medicare, and student aid in the next 12 months. A growing percentage of Americans believe unemployment benefits are also likely to decrease during that same time period.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Hurricane Gabrielle has just grown into a Category 4 storm.
According to the National Hurricane Center, the storm this morning was about 200 miles southeast of Bermuda, with sustained winds of 120 miles per hour.
Gabrielle will track north and is not expected to make landfall in Bermuda, with minimal predicted impacts anywhere.
Although we don't have to worry about Hurricane Gabrielle, the weather might bother some people this week. Our weather anchor Ryan has more on that.
Thanks, guys. This week is the first week of autumn. Let's take a look at our extended forecast to see if we can expect more summer weather or if we can finally see more fall-like. So currently right now it's about 70 degrees throughout the Ohio area. Columbus at 70 degrees. However, towards us it's around that 64 degree range. Pittsburgh at 71. For the most part, throughout the day, due to the fact that there was a storm that came in, it got a little bit cooler. And as we go a little bit closer into our area, we might see a little bit more of the about the same for the most part. It's about 64 degrees in Worcester. We're around 65, around this average of 65 degrees for the most part in our area. It's mostly due to the system that came in this morning or this afternoon, and it kind of brought this cooler weather towards us, which is a little bit more like we would expect for fall. And then as we get into the rest of our week should be a lot more of this rain, as tonight it's going to be a thunderstorm as we get an overnight into midnight. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to expect more of what we had today with this showers. Thursday is going to be very similar. Friday is going to be a lot more cloudy in the morning. And then as we get into the afternoon, it's going to be actually really nice. We're going to have some sunny skies. This weekend is going to be beautiful. It's going to be sunny. You can't really expect much better than that. But for the most part for this week, we're going to expect some rainy skies. And then as we get into this weekend, we're going to be a little bit more nicer. We're going to expect some sun. But expect to have a rainy week. And as you get into the rest of the week, it's going to be a little bit more warmer. But you're going to look forward to a perfect weekend. Now let's go back to Sydney and Sophia for the rest of your Monday Newscast.
Thanks, Ryan. Tech giants are banding together. ChatGPT's parent company, OpenAI, is set to receive up to $100 billion in investments from the chip giant NVIDIA. The investment solidifies the two firms as leaders in the race to build artificial intelligence systems to modernize society and the economy. It's also a practical expansion for OpenAI to add more data centers to power ChatGPT. In August, reaching 700 million weekly global users.
A deal to transfer the operation of American users for TikTok is now underway. Investors in the deal include the tech company Oracle and the private equity firm Silver Lake, meaning that the app's algorithm for U.S. users will be controlled by those companies. According to President Trump, Michael Dell and Rupert and Lachlan Murdoch may also be part of the new ownership group.
The Cleveland Browns debuted their Alpha Dog jerseys for the first time this season against the Green Bay Packers. Stay with us for your Kent Stater Sports Report.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Welcome back. Cleveland Browns starting left tackle DeJuan Jones is out for the remainder of the 2025 NFL season with a knee injury.
The Ohio State product started all 3 games for the Browns this season and leaves the position group in a scary spot.
For more updates on the lovely world of sports and our Browns, we turn to Gage Wellman. Gage, what are we thinking with all this news?
Well, Sydney, I'm thinking that the Browns, they're probably pretty scared right now as they have to fill the most important position in all of football. Happy Victory Monday to all you Cleveland Browns fans out there. A pleasant evening to the rest of you. As they said, I'm Gage Wellman, and this is your Kent Stater Sports Report. Let's start with the Kent State football team. They got absolutely blown out by the Florida State Seminoles by a final score of 66-10. FSU ran roughshod all over the Kent State defense, combining for nearly 500 rushing yards split amongst 12 different Seminoles. There were a few silver linings for the Flashes in the second quarter. Freshman quarterback Drew DeShields launched a 75-yard deep ball to Deshaun Martin for Kent State's sole touchdown. This weekend, KSU is idle for some much-needed rest, as they'll get ready for Oklahoma in Week 6. Then heading to the Kent State soccer team yesterday. They concluded their 5-game road trip with their first conference win of the season in a 1-0 victory over Bowling Green. After a scoreless first half, senior defender Kelsey Salopek scored the only goal of the game in the 61st minute, and the Flashes would not look back. Moving forward, the Flashes, they'll take a nice 3-day break before taking on UMass at home on Thursday. And let's go to beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. Hanford Dixon getting the dog pound charged up just like he did in 1985. Jordan Love on a play-action rollout, finding John Fitzpatrick for the first touchdown of the game. But this would be the only Packers touchdown of the game. This was a defensive showdown, intercepted by Grant Delpit, the former LSU Tiger. He's not going to take this one all the way back to the end zone, but he gives Cleveland the perfect field position for a Quinshawn Judkins rushing touchdown. You see number 98, big number 98, Aiden Huntington. He's a D tackle and a fullback. Greg Newsome is going to recover a blocked kick, another great opportunity for the Browns in scoring field position on a kick. And here he is, the Redeemer, Andre Schmidt. Had some kicking struggles in week 1, but gets it done for the Browns as they take down the Packers by a final score of 13-10. Now, I bet you thought this was going to be a Monday Night Football preview, but actually it's not, because Cleveland and Detroit, the Guardians and Tigers, they've got a pretty important 3-game series coming ahead that's going to pretty much decide the fate of the AL Central crown. Will it go to Cleveland? Will it go to Detroit? The Tigers, they have a 1-game lead on the whole season series, but if this season has proved anything, leads are never, ever safe. Well, Cleveland fans, you've got a lot to be happy about. For more sports coverage, tune into Sports Corner tonight at 8. I'm Gage Wellman, KSTV.
A new adventure in the galaxy far, far away. See the trailer Lucasfilms released for The Mandalorian and Grogu.
That was the...
Mom, Dad, we're going out.
Thank you.
Oh, look, they're playing chess.
What you got there?
Will you help my mom?
She's real sick, huh? Hey, crew, I'll give the first move to anyone who signs up to be an organ donor. How do you do it?
Easy. Just go to organdonor.gov.
You heard him, organdonor.gov.
More donors means more hope. Sign up at organdonor.gov.
After a 7-year wait, the Star Wars franchise will soon return to theaters. Earlier this morning, fans of the galaxy far, far away got a glimpse of the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu. The film is a continuation of the hit Disney Plus series that lasted for 3 seasons. Pedro Pascal is returning as Din Djarin and will be joined by everyone's favorite 50-year-old Baby Yoda. The movie hits theaters on May 22nd, 2026.
That will be so exciting, but that'll wrap up our time today.
Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned for Sports Corner at 8.
That's right, KSTV will be back tomorrow for more of your community and your stories.
But you can also find us anytime at kentstater.com. I'm Sophia Lena.
And I'm Sydney Brown. Have a great night, Portage County.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Class, today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.